You are the love of my youth. Zhu Liao often told people that the sunshine in Colorado was amazing. With more than 300 days of direct sunlight a year, most people around her had tan skin, which often gave her the illusion that she was the only white person there. In truth, what she missed most was bitterly cold Harbin in the depths of winter. At the end of that year, she attended her last Christmas dance at the University of Denver. Still without a partner, a familiar classmate came over to chat with her. I don't believe no one asked you. Sumeru told me to stay away from tall foreigners. He said he might not be able to fight them off if they bullied me. Sitting alone in the corner, she spoke while staring out the window, her eyes filled with loneliness that clashed sharply with the lively atmosphere. Who is Sumeru? The one who ruined my whole life. When Sumeru arrived in Harbin in early January, when the whole city was buried in heavy snow, it was his first time seeing such a blizzard. The sky was gray, and the biting north wind howled through the snow. He had only heard how cold it was. But only after experiencing it did he realize how utterly frigid the city could be. Snow had stopped by the next morning when he went to his temporary school. Snow lay everywhere on the ground. Trees, rooftops, and cars, a vast expanse of silver white. The sun shone brightly, yet the air felt even colder than during the snowfall. His head teacher led him from the principal's office to the classroom door. Our class is full of transfer students and repeaters. Some need discipline, some don't. Which one are you? Straightforward and forthright. Much more so than the delicate people of Shanghai. Before Sumeru could reply, a crisp voice calling for permission to enter caught his attention. It was the first time he saw Zhu Liao in the icy northern land of Harbin. Outside, the wind howled, making the national flag on the pole snap loudly. In the bright school corridor, sunlight glinted off the frost on the windows. Zhu Liao wore a thick down jacket with its hood up and a black mask, leaving only a pair of brown eyes exposed. Clear and mischievous. Teacher, I'm late. When are you not late? I'll try not to be tomorrow. Sumeru could not see her face, but her voice was clear with more standard Mandarin than people in Shanghai. The head teacher seemed too lazy to scold her and simply said, "Get in." Her eyes curved into a smile, and she pushed the door open. We have a new boy in class, super handsome. Before the door even closed, he heard the girl announce this loudly to her classmates. The head teacher pointed at her. This one needs no discipline. I don't need it either, Sumeru said. Zhu Liao only learned his name a week later. The class had already formed fixed cliques before he arrived. Sumeru was quiet and reserved, always sitting alone in the corner of the last row. He listened carefully in class, kept to himself after class, never initiated conversations, and barely responded when others spoke to him. Cool as could be. One day during break, a pretty sophomore girl lingered at their classroom door when Zhu Liao entered. The girl blushed and pressed a letter into her hand. Sister, please give this to Sumeru. Liao stood at the door and called out, "Who's Sumeru?" Sumeru sat at his desk with earphones in, reading, not lifting his head. The girl at the door grew anxious, tugging at Zhu Liao and pointing him out. Then Sumeru felt someone standing in front of him. The person bent down, tilted their head, raised an eyebrow at him, and pulled off his earphones. Your name is Sumeru? He looked at her fair cheeks and brown eyes and said nothing. The heating in the classroom was strong, making it unbearably hot compared to the cold outside. He could almost feel the warmth of her skin, and a faint scent drifting with it. Sumeru like Morang Fu from Demi-Gods and Semi-Devils. TSK, not a very likable name. She muttered to herself, placing a pink envelope on his desk. Unlike their first meeting, she was not fully covered up. Her long hair, the same brown as her eyes, fell in soft waves behind her. She wore an oversized chunky knit sweater, leggings, and snow boots with long, slender legs, a stark contrast to the other girls in school uniforms every day. It was the first time he had heard anyone interpret his name that way. A boy in front turned around to correct her. Zhu Liao. It's Sumu from the Sipa. I named Su Muc. Xu Yao Yao kicked his chair. Try calling me Yao Yao again. Fili Yao 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 Yao. My apologies. What's so amusing? Hey, CI pattern, you really should study more. Or you lend up a pretty vase with nothing inside. You're so good at flattering I almost want to treat you to dinner. Sumu put his earphones back on, thinking, Xiao Dao Yao, what an unusual name. Has Zhu Liao ever attended evening study sessions? Neither did Sumu. He skipped them because she hated studying. He skipped them because his mother did not want him coming home late. Winter in Harbin grew dark early. By 5:30 p.m., when school ended, the sky was completely black. That day, Sumu waited at the bus stop. Across the street were small cafes and bars. Amid the passing traffic, he spotted Julie Liao standing outside a pool hall. She stood out among a group of girls, laughing and chatting under the bright neon sign. Just before Sumu got on the bus, he saw several boys walk out of the pool hall. One of them was pulling and tugging at Julie Liao, dragging her back inside. Frost covered the bus windows, blocking his view. As the bus pulled away, Sumu gripped the handrail, his mind filled with the image of her being dragged inside. Less than 2 minutes later, the bus reached the next stop. Sumu got off just before the back door closed. He pushed open the pool hall door. Warm air mixed with the smell of smoke washed over him. The hall was crowded. Zhu Liao sat on a chair against the wall, looking unhappy. Several girls surrounded her, trying to cheer her up. Zhu Liao, come here. I'll teach you to play pool. The boy who had dragged her in called out, holding a cue. Zhu Liao lifted her eyelids. Lin Cam, can you stay away from me? As she spoke, she saw Sumu. He was not used to wearing heavy clothes and had walked a whole stop in the cold, leaving his cheeks flushed from the sudden heat inside. Zhu Liao stared at him in surprise, then laughed. Sumu, you look adorable with your blushing cheeks. Sumu turned and walked out, laughing at his own foolishness. He had actually worried about this little delinquent. The number of days left until the college entrance examination counted down on the blackboard day by day. Winter in Harbin grew colder, with heavy snowfall every few days. Freshmen and sophomores complained endlessly about snow-clearing duty. The school finally took pity and let the seniors shovel snow once. That afternoon, the entire playground was filled with seniors shoveling snow vigorously. Sumu was figuring out how to use the shovel when his father called, asking him to meet at the back school gate. He never wore the snow boots his aunt had bought him, thinking them clumsy and odd-feeling. The back gate was quiet. From far away, he saw Julie Liao wearing pink snow boots and long rabbit-ear decorations. That indescribable feeling struck him. Cute. Julie Liao was staring up at the courtyard wall, lost in thought. Hearing the crunch of snow underfoot, she turned and saw him. She pointed at the wall, speaking without hesitation. Sumu, lift me up. Sumu walked over, looked down at her, bent over, and lifted her up easily. Julie Liao climbed onto the wall and sat down, only to freeze. She was too scared to jump off. Sumu's father spoke to the guard and walked straight out the back gate. Amid his father's voice, Sumu glanced back at Julie Liao on the wall. She stared back at him with round eyes, puffing her cheeks in frustration. Sumu suddenly smiled. Julie Liao had skipped class that day to go to a celebrity meet and greet with friends. By the time they arrived, the venue was packed. Her friend grumbled about her being late. I climbed over the wall. Someone lifted me up and then helped me down. While taking advantage much, her friend noticed her unusual expression. Dull, reminiscing, who was it? A classmate who never smiles, but looks incredibly handsome when he does. Julie Liao thought of the always serious Sumu standing below the wall, his sudden smile, and the way he had stepped forward to lift her down. She lost all interest in the male star she had previously liked on stage. After that day, Julie Liao noticed that once she paid more attention to Sumu, she kept running into him. One evening after school, Her family car waited for her near the bus stop. As she passed by, she spotted Sumu among the waiting crowd. A girl pulled him aside to a quieter spot. Sumu, can we give it a try? You can reject me later if it doesn't work out, okay? Sumu sounded impatient. I like girls who are tall and have long legs. Julie Liao happened to walk past them. Sumu turned to look at her. She froze. The street lamp at the bus stop shone brightly, highlighting her long, straight legs under gray leggings. In contrast to Sumu and Julie Liao's calm expressions, the girl looked close to tears. Julie Liao coughed. Junior, don't get excited. I like guys who are good at studying. Then, after the school's first mock exam, Sumu shocked everyone by ranking first in the grade, leading the second place by more than 10 points. Julie Liao never cared about report cards. But this time, everyone talked about it non-stop, and every teacher called his name in class, curious about this genius. Only then did she realize how outstanding Sumu was. Staring at the grade sheet, she looked at his name, bolded and underlined as class and grade top student. Awesome. Sumu was passing by and heard her exclamation. He glanced at her. After school that day, Julie Liao deliberately waited for him at the bus stop. When she saw him approaching, she stepped in front of him. Did you get first place because I said I like smart guys? Sumu looked down at her from above and said calmly, IQ crush. Born with it. Julie Liao stared at him for a moment. Oh, well, the thing I said before about liking smart guys, I know it was a joke, he said. Julie Liao. Acorhorn nearby caught their attention. Too flashy. Catching sports cars pulled over. 3 young men stepped out. Grinning at Sumu. Young Master Su, enjoying Harbin? Sumu looked surprised, then smiled the second time Julie Liao had seen him smile. I spoke in Shanghai dialect. Julie Liao checked the license plate. Shanghai. Driven all the way from Shanghai. Show minus offs. Sumu glanced at her and walked away. She watched him get into the car and leave, suddenly realizing she knew nothing about this classmate. In the car, one of the men said to Sumu, that girl was pretty. You really can't help attracting girls wherever you go. I didn't lead her on. She thinks I like her. Sumu said. What did you do to make her think that? Sumu thought of Julie Liao sitting puffed up on the back wall that afternoon and smiled, lifted her twice. Wow, that vixen and her son at your place have been getting really arrogant. One word from you, and well make their lives miserable. Another added. Leave it alone. Julie Liao felt annoyed and called friends to a KTV. Unexpectedly, she ran into Lincoln there. The girls were drinking and chatting about gossip when Lincoln squeezed over to her, acting cheap. I ordered a song for you. Julie Liao glared at him unhappily. You're so annoying. I told you 100 times I like smart guys. Everyone around laughed, thinking she was joking. Julie Liao usually laughed along, but this time she was serious. I mean it. Don't not believe me. While everyone sang, Julie Liao went to the bathroom. Lincoln blocked her at the public sink. She told him to get lost. Growing desperate, he grabbed her wrist and pressed her against the wall behind the sink. You think I'm messing around after chasing you this long? If you touch me, my dad will kill you. Julie Liao showed no fear. So what if I touch you? I'll just go propose to your family. Julie Liao replayed that night 100 times, remembering every detail. She recalled Lincoln leaning in to kiss her. She turned her head away and saw Sumu standing by the door. He still looked cold and indifferent, hands in pockets. Watching them, then he lifted one long leg and kicked Lincoln to the ground. Later, Lincoln called several friends to chase them to the gate. They could not catch up to the 2 sports cars carrying Sumu away, having no idea who he was. Fuming, Lincoln demanded of Julie Liao, "Who is that guy?" Julie Liao replied, "The smart one." For the snow in Harbin seemed to last all winter, and the bitter cold showed no sign of ending. Sumu finally could not bear the cutting chill and took 2 days off sick with a cold. When he returned to school on the third day, he unusually wore a long down jacket and a mask, keeping it on even in class. After the first period, Julia Liao used her bag to chase Suemu's deskmate away. Switch seats. Sumu leaned back in his chair with his eyes closed, seemingly asleep. He opened his eyes and glanced at them at the sound. Julia Liao watched his deskmate leave, then turned to Sumu. Sumu coughed softly under his breath and closed his eyes again to rest. Just as he did, Julia Liao sat down and said to him, "I'm not good at crushing secretly. If I like you, you have to know." Sumu raised an eyebrow and looked at her. She held his gaze with her chin up, looking more like provocation than a confession. His eyes curved almost imperceptibly as he continued resting. Julia Liao pouted and glared at him. Just when she thought he would not respond, he uttered a calm. It was the first confession of Julia Liao's 18 years. His reply was only one word. Julia Liao was depressed. The next morning during self-study, she walked into class, stepped onto her seat, and pointed at her legs. "Don't you like long legs?" Sumu glanced at her. "Yeah, like Yao Ming's." Julia Liao huffed and sat down, not speaking to him for the entire day. In the third day, Julia Liao racked her brain for a topic. "Play games? LOL? DOTA?" Sumu shook his head. "Don't play." On the fourth day, she asked listlessly, "Maybe do you like Messi?" Hey, like Neymar." "Who's Neymar?" Julia Liao asked in a small, defeated voice. "You know Messi but not Neymar?" During that time, Julia Liao was extremely frustrated. Her friends gave her endless ideas, but Sumu remained unyielding, with no weak points to exploit. Later, she stopped trying to make conversation and ignored him for several days. Right before school ended, Sumu spoke first. "Something on your mind lately?" Julia Liao lay listlessly on her desk, poking around with a pen. Without looking up, she replied casually, "Yeah. Ever since I got Sumu in my heart, I've had something on my mind." Both of them froze after she spoke. Sumu was stunned by the sudden, inexplicable tug at his heart. Julia Liao was shocked that it was Sumu who had asked her, and her eyes lit up as she looked at him. Huh? You're talking to me?" Sumu looked at her dazed expression and smiled. "School's over." That day, Julia Liao walked out of the classroom with Sumu, both carrying backpacks. Sumu walked ahead with long strides. For the first time, Julia Liao felt her legs were short, having to quicken her pace to keep up.